The Evening Star, the last steam locomotive built by British Railways. This fittingly named Class 9F marked the end of an era for British steam and can be found on display at the National Railway Museum in York. Last month, a bundle of second-hand model railway items were found in one of my local charity shops, some that were beyond restoration, and one of them was a Triang Hornby release of the Evening Star. As time went by, it was one of the only complete loco sets remaining, with its working tender, so after some consideration I decided to take it home, although given its condition the shop was kind to reduce its price. At first glance the loco didn't appear to look too bad, and if anything, it just needed a spit shine. This being a tender driven loco, it still appeared to be working, but the main problem was the driving wheels. They were not rolling free. They had almost felt like they had been glued to the chassis, when in fact, given the lack of service this has had, probably due to being in storage so long, the old grease had hardened up, making it impossible for this to roll freely. To remove the old grease, I used paint thinner. I didn't want to risk using WD-40, and it didn't remove any of the metal paintwork on the chassis. Then I added some fresh lubrication to each of the bearings. The result? The wheels now roll much better than before. Next, the body shell was removed and given a careful though thorough wash. Having watched a lot of Sans Trains videos on his own loco repair efforts, I used the same method he did to wash his loco bodies: hand soap. It really did remove a lot of the dry dirt stuck to the body, though I had to be careful around the cap so as not to scrape off the paper decal that has the loco number printed on. The same was done to the tender body shell, and both were set aside to dry. The loco's separately fitted items were surprisingly still intact, although one of the smoke deflectors was missing a nameplate, though it's nothing that can't be replaced. The copper chimney and pipes were given a new coat of reflective paint. In cleaning the base keeper plate, it snapped off, though the superglue came to the rescue. I didn't think anything else needed doing to the tender other than a clean and service, but the traction ties needed replacing, and one part of the tender step ladder had broken off. So I'll have to look into another possible 3D printed commission to fix this. Once the motor was serviced, I then reassembled the loco entirely. When it was down on the layout for testing, it struggled to perform at first as the loco wheels required further attention, and the traction tyres needed replacing on the tender, though it still struggled to get round the third radius curves. However, it managed okay on unballasted track. I think I can get a better performance out of this loco, so I'll take it over to my friend in the coming weeks to see if he can help. But until then, I think I can call this fix-up a partial success.